From athletic stuff like a full court pickup game, swish, to athletic-ish stuff like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
President's Day savings are happening now at the Home Depot with up to 40% off select appliances. Looking to upgrade your fridge? Check out LG's newest model, serving up ice in all kinds of styles. Cube, crushed, craft ice, and now new mini craft ice straight from the dispenser. From cold brew to fizzy favorites, these refrigerators will have you entertaining like a pro. Shop President's Day savings and get up to 40% off, plus free delivery on select appliances like LG at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $1,498 or more. Offer valid February 5th through the 25th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
This is Optimal Health Daily. How to use a holistic weight loss approach for long-term success by Elly McGuinness of ellymcguinness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, welcome back to another week of Optimal Health Daily. This is where I read to you from some of the best health and fitness blogs on the web, kind of like an ongoing audiobook, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. All right, with that, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. How to use a holistic weight loss approach for long-term success by Elly McGuinness of ellymcguinness.com. There are many conflicting views in the world on health, fitness, and well-being regarding the best ways to burn fat or lose weight. This is partly due to our evolving knowledge of science. There are also many so-called experts on this topic who have very differing viewpoints. Largely, there is no one magic formula that works for everyone, and a holistic weight loss approach needs to be used. We keep learning more and more about how to make our bodies optimally healthy, and during this process, new ideas are formed. Some embrace the new ideas, like new methods of training, for example. Some stick to the old school ways, and some seemingly new ideas come about. Many of these ideas, in fact, take us back to doing things the way they were done 20 years ago, or even 2,000 years ago. The experts won't all agree with each other. It's nearly impossible to obtain unanimous agreement on the best training method for this or that. However, there is a general murmur of consensus in the health and fitness industry when talking about the emphasis that needs to be placed on exercise versus nutrition, where weight loss is the primary objective. That consensus is as follows. For best results, focus 70% of your effort on nutrition, and focus 30% of your effort on exercise. It's true that your exercise efforts will be unlikely to produce the weight loss results you want unless a significant emphasis is placed on nutrition. Now, your efforts would not be wasted in that there are so many benefits associated with exercise alone. For example, decreased risk of disease, increased muscle strength and muscle endurance, increased bone mineral density, increased energy levels, improved distribution of blood, oxygen, and nutrients throughout the body, improved functioning for activities of daily living, and the list goes on. You should also understand that any type of exercise can form a piece of your weight loss jigsaw puzzle. Contrary to some beliefs, weightlifting can be a crucial element in your weight loss training plan. However, if your primary objective is weight loss, very few people will achieve this goal through exercise alone. Employing a more holistic weight loss approach will help you reach your goals, including those beyond weight loss. A holistic weight loss approach. I propose a few changes to the areas of focus that are required in order to achieve sustained weight loss for the majority of people. You may already have one or two of these areas in check. Therefore, you can focus on those that require the biggest improvements. The focus needs to be as follows: 40% nutrition, 20% exercise, 10% sleep, 10% stress, 10% mindset, and 10% relationships. You might be wondering how on earth your stress levels or thoughts are going to affect your ability to lose weight. The reasons why and the details about how they do are subjects for future articles, but for now, just believe me that they do. By adding 4 additional factors beyond exercise and nutrition, we create more of a holistic weight loss model. Complete the following exercise. Rate yourself across each health factor from 2 to 10. Imagine each factor as being placed into a wheel. The wheel concept has been used before in numerous ways as a representation of balance with one's life or within a particular area of one's life. The wheels here focus specifically on the balance of one's health, fitness, and well-being. It's a holistic weight loss approach. If a person has paid attention to some areas of their health, fitness, and well-being, for example, nutrition and exercise, but has neglected others like sleep, mindset, and relationships, this results in a strangely shaped wheel. What happens if my holistic weight loss wheel is a bit bumpy? The translation into real life is that although the person is doing reasonably well on the big chunks of the wheel, like nutrition and exercise, they are missing out on the benefits of optimal sleep, positive thoughts, and great relationships. In this case, their mental and physical performance will be impaired, and ultimately, their weight loss results will be limited. Your body is essentially a safety first, satisfaction second machine. If it needs to work hard just to keep you functioning throughout the day, do you think it will be concerned with turning you into that fat-burning machine you long to be? Think about this holistic wheel as though it's a wheel on a bicycle. Without pumping up the areas that have been neglected or the areas that are flat, you're in for an awfully uncomfortable journey. Now, think about your own ratings or wheel. Which areas come up with the lowest score? Focus on making changes to these first. Here's a final point of emphasis regarding the wheel. Although some sections have been assigned a smaller percentage of importance on the wheel, do not underestimate the power of the 10% or 20% they represent. The wheel functions as a whole, and if any one area is completely neglected, long-term results will not be achieved. So always focus first on the area or areas with the lowest score. Pump a little into this area, ensuring it's something small enough to sustain long-term. Then we move on to improving the other areas bit by bit. Injecting adequate knowledge, skills, and desire into each section of the wheel will turn you into the fat-burning machine you are striving to be. You just listened to the post titled, How to Use a Holistic Weight Loss Approach for Long-Term Success by Elly McGuinness of ellymcguinness.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Right now, there's a talented person out there who could take your company to the next level. Do you want to hope they see your job post before your competitors? Or do you want to match with them with Indeed sponsored jobs? Stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. Give your job the best chance to be seen with Indeed sponsored jobs. When I was looking to hire, it was so slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed. On longer flights, my legs usually aren't feeling too great. I'm sure you know the feeling. They can feel heavy, achy, and completely stiff. Compression socks I've tried in the past were basically plastic bags and super sweaty. But Hollow socks are much more comfortable. Their performance compression socks are made from ultra-soft baby alpaca fiber. The graduated compression is snug at the ankle and gently tapers up your leg so everything just feels supported without that suffocating squeeze. They're 3 times more breathable, so no more swamp feet on long flights or 12-hour shifts. You can actually keep them on all day. Plus, they're made in the USA with over 2 million pairs sold. For a limited time, Hollow Socks is having a buy 2, get 2 free sale. Head to hollowsocks.com today to check it out. That's hollowsocks.com for up to 50% off your order. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and you can support our show and tell them we sent you. Dr. Neil here with my commentary. In today's article, Elly mentioned that stress levels can influence our ability to lose weight. Specifically, stress can make it more difficult to lose weight, especially when it comes to body fat. Now, Elly didn't want to get into it in her article, but I can quickly explain why this is. I had a feeling you're probably curious about this. When we're under constant stress, this is called chronic stress, the body keeps pumping out specific hormones into the bloodstream. These hormones prepare the body to run or fight. So some of their functions are to do just that, prepare the body to run or fight, like increase our heart rate and increase our blood pressure. One of the hormones that gets released when we're under stress is called cortisol. Cortisol is not really a problem in small doses, but when we're under that long-term chronic stress, the body keeps pumping out this hormone into the bloodstream. And it turns out long-term exposure to higher levels of cortisol can do things like increase our appetite and make the body hang on to its fat stores. And because stress hormones raise our heart rate and blood pressure and tense our muscles, it then makes it harder to get a good night's sleep, which then might raise cortisol levels even more, and then the cycle continues. So yes, as Elly said in today's post, a holistic approach to weight loss or weight management is probably the best way to go. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. And of course, I'll be back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.